The guy behind Nolan's success. Christopher Nolan is one of the biggest directors in the world. His name is more than enough to make his movie hit. But now if you look at his movies, which have been successful in the past, I feel that he gets too much credit for the success behind his movies. Because direction is an important stuff, one of the most important stuff I think. But without a great written screenplay, direction alone can't make a movie great. Example, Zack Snyder. Great director, but bad writer. That is why his Rebel Moon didn't work. It had a great direction, but writing was super bad. Like this stupid girl killed the girl on her father's command, which she vowed to protect her. And then she killed some guards and tried to kill her father, but she is daddy's little angel. That's why she hesitated to kill her father, which doesn't make any sense. This scene doesn't make any sense. And that is why writing is truly one of the most important part of filmmaking. And a good screenplay is the biggest reason why Nolan's movies are successful. Because Christopher Nolan alone is an average writer. Like, do you remember that scene from Man of Steel where Superman's father tells him to not to save him? It was one of the most dumbest scene I have ever seen in my whole life. Yes, that scene was written by David S. Goyer, but with the Christopher Nolan. But now if you see some of his great movies like Momento, Dark Knight, Prestige, Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, all of them are written by Jonathan Nolan. And the guy behind Nolan's success. Like, let's start with one of the iconic Christopher Nolan's movies, Momento.
I'm Leonard Shelby. I'm from San Francisco.
That's who you were. That's not what you become.
Shut your mouth.
You want to know, Lenny? Come on. Come on, let's go down to the basement. Let's go down, you and me together. Then you'll know who you really are. No!
Chris Nolan was the guy who wrote Momento, but this is not it. Momento is an adaptation of short story written by Jonathan Nolan, and the original name is Memento Mori. This story is about a man with short-term memory loss who is seeking revenge for his wife. But Christopher Nolan was the writer of this movie, and he did a great job because there are some differences between the short story and movie. The short story is just an idea. It doesn't have any detailed information about the story, while the movie has some extra details, which was written by Chris Nolan himself, and it's really good, but still not an original idea. The Prestige. This is one of the best movie of Chris Nolan, which is adaptation of Prestige novel by Christopher Priest. This is one of the best written movie of Jonathan Nolan because it took them around 5 years.
The big challenge was adapting Christopher Priest's novel. It's a big sprawling novel with 10 different films in there, really, and it took us years. It took us about, really 5 or 6 years to focus in on the essential elements that we felt would.
Because here's the thing, they wrote screenplay in such an amazing way so they can show the theme of film with magical tricks. Like, actually the movie is divided into 3 acts, and magic is the most important part because magic is representing the theme of every act. Like, let me explain to you. Act 1, the pledge.
Are either of you two gentlemen sailors? No.
It is setting up the story, showing all the main characters, and it happened when magician was doing magic, the pledge. And then Act 2, the turn. Plot twist. Spoiler alert, death of Julia McLove. The twist which started everything, and that was also shown between a magical act and then the Prestige. Act 3, the reveal. Spoiler alert, 2 Alfred Borden's revelation was shown like a magic trick, like one is rising after being dead.
Sacrifice, Robert. That's the price of a good trick. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
And then Tesla's late addition. Jonathan Nolan expanded the role of Tesla in the movie because Tesla was not a major focus in the original novel. But Jonathan pushed Tesla's character and made him a crucial figure in the movie with lots of mysteries which wasn't planned from the beginning. This shows how well The Prestige is written by Jonathan Nolan. Then comes one of the best superhero movies of all time.
What the hell are you?
The Dark Knight. Now this is the most unique and first movie in the world where villain was the most important character. Yeah, more relevant than Batman. And in this movie, Jonathan Nolan showed what he is capable of. Like, let's start with opening scene, bank heist. That whole scene was stand-alone short story which Jonathan written before adding that into the scene, which was genius. That whole bank heist scene was genius, which showed how manipulative Joker is, how good he is. Now I understand why he said,
"If you're good at something, never do it for free."
And then Harvey Dent transformation into Two-Face. Actually, it was set for potential third film, but Jonathan Nolan, the genius, pushed to include it in The Dark Knight, arguing it make the script emotional stakes higher, and it paid off. It paid off, giving the story a gut-punching second act twist, which was more than worth it. But that's not it. You know that scene? Nolan brothers didn't want it to give Joker a origin story, so Jonathan gave audience a scar story of Joker, so Nolan can show how unpredictable nature Joker has. And that was one so well-written scene, which makes it one of the most iconic scene in cinema. Interstellar. So Jonathan played a pivotal role in crafting the screenplay for Interstellar because Interstellar came in 2014, but Jonathan Nolan was working on Interstellar script since 2006. Yeah, from 2006 with Steven Spielberg. Actually, Steven Spielberg was the one who was going to direct Interstellar, and Jonathan was so passionate that he studied relativity at the Californian Institute of Technology, aka Caltech, where Kip Thorne was a long-serving researcher. This rigorous academic immersion helped him weave complex concepts like black holes, wormholes, and time dilation into narrative while maintaining scientific plausibility. Genius. He spent around 3 years to write the script of Interstellar. He was this dedicated to the realistic approach of sci-fi movie. But Jonathan Nolan's 2008 draft was significantly different from final film. Initially, Murph was Cooper's second son. Yeah, this girl. And the story included wilder elements, like they were trying to showing how a black hole exists in infinite space, like a neutron star collapsing into a black hole, creating a gravitational waves that opened a wormhole. But when Christopher Nolan took over this project in 2012, he changed those things, which were actually great and exciting. Initially, in the first draft, Murph was Cooper's second son, but Christopher toned down some speculative element and reshaped Murph into a daughter to heighten the emotional stakes, which was actually good. But toning down the wilder elements of story was a bad idea. But at the end, it was a great movie. Script writing is not an easy job. You have to put effort in the story, in the element, like Jonathan did for you all. And it will take time, but you have to believe in the process. You have to believe in the genre you are making a film. You can learn a lot of things from him, and maybe could to become better than him. But the goal of my video was not disrespecting Mr. Christopher Nolan or his efforts. He really did a great job, wonderful job in directing movies through realistic approach with lots of hard work and patience, which is not for everyone's cup of tea. But movies are not only thing Jonathan Nolan created. He also wrote Westworld, Fallout, like critically acclaimed series. But yeah, if you want to be a writer, good luck to you all. Until then, keep smiling, keep watching, and stay tuned on my channel, Impact. Bye bye.